on sale for just $39.99 with Ace Rewards card. Get a DeWalt Black Oxide 20-piece drill bit for only $9.99 with Ace Rewards card. Don't forget, Harris Ace carries top brands such as Traeger grills, Yeti coolers, and Costa de Mar sunglasses. Harris Ace Hardware, West Cherry Street, here in Jesup.
It's time now for a look at in local sports. In sports, the first round of the state playoffs are set for this Friday night at JC Stadium. Wayne County is going to host Thomas County Central at round one at the stadium at 7:30. Wayne County played Thomas County Central earlier this year in a scrimmage, beat them 42-7. Tickets will be $8. You can purchase them in advance at the high school on Thursday and Friday between 11 and 1. Wayne County veterans will be recognized before the game. The first 100 veterans to sign up, your tickets will be paid for by the following sponsors: Attorney Tracy Bryan, Vans Automart, Chesapeake Elks Lodge. The school wants to thank Heartland Hospice for sponsoring the players' flags in the first round of the playoffs this Friday night at JC Stadium. Wayne County, Thomas County Central. Again, looking at the entire 5A bracket, on the left side, it's Banneker against Southwest DeKalb, Cedar Shoals at Rome, New Hampstead at Bainbridge, Dutchtown at Starrs Mill, Mother Grove at Jackson out of Atlanta, Paulding County against Buford, Harris County at Ware County, McIntosh at Stockbridge. On the right side, it's Clark Central at Carrollton, North Springs at Arabia Mountain, Eagles Landing at Whitewater, South Effingham at Warner Robins, Kell at Flowery Branch, Columbia at Carver of Atlanta, Griffin at Jones County, Thomas County Central at Wayne County. Wayne County, when they win, will host the winner of Griffin and Jones. You know, that game will be in JC Stadium a week from Friday as well. Again, Wayne County on a good bracket has a chance to make a deep run, possibly get to Atlanta. A lot of people projecting that Wayne County and Rome to play for the state title already as they go through the bracket. But again, Wayne County taking it one game at a time. Thomas County Central this Friday night should be a win. And then next week, the winner at Griffin and Jones. Be nice to see Griffin come to Wayne County, get a little revenge for that game that they stole up in Griffin a few years ago. A couple other area teams in football in the playoffs. In 7A football, Noonan's at Tift, Colquitt will be at Pebblebrook, Campbell at Lowndes. In 6A football, Effingham will be at Coffee, Northside Warner Robins at Brunswick, Richmond Hill at Lee, Valdosta at Glen Academy. Brunswick and Glen both hosting first round. One of those games will be played on Friday night, and the other game will be played on Saturday night down at Glen Memorial Stadium. But again, Northside Warner Robins at Brunswick, Valdosta at Glen in round one in 6A football. AAA football, Pierce County hosts Monroe. Appling will be at Crisp County. Liberty hosts Dougherty, and Pike will be at Southeast Bullock and Dubway. Berrien will be at BC. BC goes in ranked number one in the state in Dubway football. Fitzgerald at Toombs County in Dubway. Also Harlem at Dublin. Some of the area teams in the state playoffs in round one. It all gets underway this Friday night. Tommy Palmer have the high school scoreboard show, have all the winners and the matchups for week 2 on our high school scoreboard show following our broadcast this Friday night between Wayne County and Thomas County Central. Monday Night Football last night, Detroit beat up on Green Bay 30-17. Green Bay simply can't win without their quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Their backup quarterback is simply awful. College football, the bowl championship football poll comes out this evening. Question remains, will there be any changes? All 4 teams won last week. Again, last week the poll had Georgia 1, Bama 2, Notre Dame 3, Clemson 4. Georgia fans wouldn't mind moving Bama back to number 1 just to give Kirby Smart and Georgia some fuel for a fire and motivation heading into the big showdown at Auburn Saturday at 3:30. Georgia defeated South Carolina at Athens. Bama defeated LSU at home. Both Georgia and Notre Dame have key games this Saturday. Georgia again at Auburn in the CBS 3:30 showdown. And Notre Dame headed down to Miami to play Mark Richt's undefeated Hurricane team. That's an 8 p.m. kickoff Saturday night on NBC TV. Latest poll comes out tonight. Again, there are only 2 questions. Does Bama move back to number 1? Question 2, does Oklahoma move up into the top 4 after knocking off Oklahoma State? Most believe Oklahoma will remain at number 5 on the outside looking in at the moment. But still so much football yet to be played before the bowl championship playoff is set. Again, only the top 4 teams get a shot at the title in the playoffs. Georgia with games at Auburn, home against Kentucky, and Atlanta against Georgia Tech Thanksgiving weekend. Then the SEC title game in Atlanta December 2nd against either Alabama or Auburn. The West side has not been determined at this time. Georgia locked in as the SEC East representative, looking to play Alabama. But Auburn in the next few weeks will either play themselves into the top 4, play spoiler, or lose both to Georgia and Alabama. And the word is if they lose both games to to Georgia and Alabama, Auburn fans want their head coach fired as well. Still no word on who the next Florida coach will be. No word on who Georgia Southern's next coach will be. Everyone says Butch Jones will be fired at the end of the season at Tennessee. Still no word on who that next coach will be, but all eyes in Tennessee on John Gruden, whose wife's a former Tennessee cheerleader. Their son currently enrolled at Tennessee. Word is Gruden just has to name his price, and that's who the Volunteers would like to coach their team. John Gruden on Monday Night Football last night didn't confirm or deny any rumors that he's headed out of the booth and into either the NFL or the coaching ranks next season. That's going to do it for latest